Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about July and how much I spent in my no spend month as part of my no spend year, or low buy month, no buy month. Hello everyone, my name's Rachel and I have been doing a low buy year or no buy year, depends on which way you look at it, but I'm trying to reduce down how much I spend each month so that I can spend things on the important things that matters, like experiences and trips out. So I track everything that I do in my budget planner, and today we're going to be looking at July. So throughout the month I collect up in this little tray all my receipts that I get from anything that I've spent, and the idea is that every week I will go through that and I will mark it off in my tracker under spend, petrol or food, and then I see how much I've spent overall for that month. So I usually have a rough budget that I'm working towards. So I try and aim for about £40 a week, so £160 for petrol. I aim for £100 spend for little bits and pieces like socialising and days out. That's under that bracket of spend. And then I have a £70 a week budget for food. So for this month, it's 4 weekends that fall in the month. So I have got 280 as my budget. So I've gone through all my receipts and I've tracked them in my budget planner. So let's have a look and see how much I have spent. I have definitely been better this year. I do feel like it's more of a low buy than a no buy because I have been buying little bits and pieces, or I've been spending money in categories that I allow, which is usually on food and socialising. So here it is, my spend, the petrol and food. So spend wise, I have, end of July is end of the school year, so there's a lot of trips to get sweets from the shops, which is a really bad habit, and that's something that I don't seem to do when it's holidays. I don't seem to be that bothered about sweets. I think it's a stress coping management technique that I seem to have, that I seem to buy sweets or want to treat myself to something. I think that's the thing that kind of keeps me going when I'm feeling a little bit at my edge. So I just do those things to manage that. But yeah, a few trips to the shop for that. I've had a takeaway of fish and chips, and I did buy some sandals for myself and some sandals for my son. That came under the budget, and I bought a new set of makeup because they were on offer. So I spent £109. The sandals were £35 and £15. So I don't feel like I spent loads, but I did have to buy some new ones for my son, and they were the more expensive ones. Mine were only £15, but that's because my other ones were completely worn through and needed replacing. So yeah, and they were used for my holiday that I've just come back from, which is why this video is later than it normally is. So I feel like generally I haven't bought things. I did buy a gift in there. Yeah, so I've not really, and I've bought makeup, but makeup is the same like stuff that I buy, and it was replacements. So because they were on offer, I bought a couple of the same thing because then I knew that I had replacements ready, but I buy the same set of makeup. So it's really easy to know when I'm running out, etc. I just tend to buy it when it's on offer when I see it, so that I am getting the best value when I buy. I don't feel like that's too bad. What's not included in there is any spend for my trip to London that I had within this month. So I went to London for a weekend. We were only there for like the Saturday event, but I like to stay the day before and the day after, like for sleep wise, to manage my fatigue so I'm not overwhelmed. But that worked out fine, and I just bought food. Food was expensive when we did it in London, but I count that as part of the trip, so that's like a separate amount that I would budget for. Food in general, I have included buying snacks to take to London in my food budget, but I didn't include the food that I brought out, if that makes sense, because I find that that's easy to keep separate. But it explains why my food is slightly over. So normally it'd be 280, so it's about £70 a week. It's definitely creeping up without it being me buying more. I'm buying the same shop. I'm pretty consistent with what I buy. So there's very little fluctuation in what is bought, definitely spending more like 80 to 90 now than I was 70. So I might need to adjust my budget to accommodate the shift. But I spent £319. Yeah, a good £40 over budget there, which is not ideal. But then it is what it is. I gotta eat. Petrol wise, I have pretty much stuck to budget. It's about £40 a week, so I spent 158. Budget is 160. I usually spend a little bit less, but because I did a little bit of extra driving around, I just did rack up a little bit more on the petrol side because I've been doing some decluttering and stuff like that. So yeah, in general, I have not done too bad with my budget. For August, I've already bought items that just before I went on holiday. Holiday budget is kind of separate and I allocate for that, but I don't have an awful lot happening in August, so I'm hoping that it's not too spendy other than the clothing items that I bought just before we went on holiday. So hopefully it won't go over the 100, so that should be okay. It was just little bits and pieces for my son really because he's grown. We needed new bits before we went away. But other than that, that is my spend. So I will keep going, keep plugging away, and hopefully August isn't too spendy for me. Let me know in the comments below how you're getting on with your no buy or low buy month. Did you have a good month? Were there any challenges? What did you find difficult? Let me know in the comments. I shall be back for more videos soon. Take care. Bye.